tous, ici Sprullex et bienvenue dans ce 6e épisode de Let's Play sur notre podcast. On continue. Épisode 6, on avance encore dans les jours, on est bien, j'ai envie de dire, mais maintenant je connais pas le jeu vraiment, donc enfin je connais pas, oui, donc je peux pas dire si vraiment on est bien. On fait des diffusions moyennes, en dents de scie, mais c'est moyen sur la durée. Faudra essayer d'améliorer ça, mais c'est vrai que ça peut être très long des fois. Jouer au téléthon, une émission, machin. Hop, jour 230, non, 242. Une échelle à laquelle il faut grimper. Ah, c'est un dimanche après-midi en plein été. Sam et vous profitez au maximum de l'absence des enfants. Vous allez dans le KGB, consacrant un moment à vous rappeler l'époque où cette pièce était la chambre de votre mère avant d'en sortir avec les dernières parts du gâteau fait maison. C'est rare que Sam et vous puissiez déguster entièrement et goûter à sa juste valeur chaque friandise sucrée. Au moment où vous prenez la dernière bouchée, vous entendez la porte qui claque. Ça doit être Charlie qui revient de chez les fonceurs. Vous l'entendez presque courir jusqu'à vous lorsqu'il apparaît, son visage affiche un sourire radieux. J'ai une grande nouvelle à vous annoncer. Sam et vous jouez le jeu, attendant fiévreusement la suite. Prêt ? Demande Charlie. Vous acquiescez tous les deux de la tête. C'est acquiescer plutôt mieux. Avec enthousiasme. Il sort alors de sa poche un nouvel insigne qu'il brandit avec fierté non dissimulée, tout en annonçant « À partir d'aujourd'hui, je suis membre du premier palier des cadets de la cohésion. J'aurai beaucoup plus de responsabilités et je travaillerai aussi les week-ends, mais c'est génial !» Ça me félicite Charlie, mais vous ne pouvez pas vous empêcher de froncer les sourcils, ça semble être un trop grand pas en avant pour les ados. Sam et vous souriez à votre tour, vous êtes content qu'il soit heureux, que tout aille bien. Bon allez, on va dire que tout va bien. Même si je suis pas fan, hein. Un signe avant-coureur. Avant les sanctions, faire les courses n'était pas une partie de plaisir, mais maintenant c'est une véritable corvée. Vous réussissez à trouver tout ce qu'il faut pour ce soir, mais vous devrez revenir demain afin de faire des provisions pour la semaine. Il y a la queue jusqu'au parking, mais dans l'obscurité, vous n'arrivez pas à voir pourquoi. Avec un peu de chance, les choses reprendront leur cours rapidement. Alors que la dernière voiture devant vous démarre, vous réalisez qu'il y a des contrôles d'identité à la sortie. Un homme en uniforme d'avance et bardé de blasons exhibant les lettres OCC approche de votre voiture. L'air avenant, il tape à la fenêtre du conducteur. Vous la baissez. Bonsoir, excusez-moi de vous déranger, mais je me demandais s'il vous serait éventuellement possible de me montrer votre carte de membre de l'équipe, s'il vous plaît. Sam ne vous avait pas inscrit il y a quelques semaines. Vous farfouillez dans la boîte à gants et tendez votre carte. Oui, tout est parfait, merci. N'oubliez pas de rester à l'affût des nouvelles loteries de l'équipe qui aura bientôt lieu, avec de nombreux avantages à gagner. Passez une fort belle journée. L'homme vous sourit tout en tapotant le capot de votre voiture et vous indique d'avancer. Des prix gratuits quand on a la carte, fantastique. Voilà, alors c'est cadeau obligatoire maintenant. Alors, allez, on va dire fantastique. Une invitation à ignorer. Jour 290. C'est samedi, l'un de vos rares jours de congé et vous en avez profité au maximum. Mais alors que l'après-midi touche à sa fin, l'invitation accrochée au frigo vous fixe d'un air accusateur. Le gala de Canal 1 est une manifestation professionnelle obligatoire, avait dit Bozeman d'un ton péremptoire auquel il avait ajouté « Et ne sois pas en retard ». Il serait dangereux de déclencher le coup de Bozeman, il vaut mieux y aller. Vous avez déjà manqué votre anniversaire cette année, vous n'abandonnerez pas un autre samedi. Il serait dangereux de déclencher le courroux de Bozeman. Mais ouais. Bah, le samedi touche à sa fin, donc allez. Il serait judicieux de commencer à vous préparer. Vous vous demandez si ça vous y emmènera. Un ou deux petits verres pourraient vous aider à socialiser davantage avec vos collègues. Avec un peu de chance, ce ne sera pas trop enquiquinant. Après tout, niveau boulot, vous vous débrouillez plutôt pas mal, non? Jour 290, un journal télévision du soir. Vous arrivez in extremis au Sauvagnon, l'un des hôtels les plus anciens et les plus prestigieux de la capitale. Il y a une file d'attente devant l'entrée, ce qui n'est pas sans vous surprendre. Quelques instants plus tard, vous comprenez mieux pourquoi les convives sont fouillés par des soldats habillés très chic. Pendant que vous attendez, vous remarquez l'incroyable richesse de l'édifice. Vous n'êtes jamais allé dans un lieu aussi opulent et classe. Vous acceptez d'être fouillé et on vous laisse entrer dans l'hôtel. Vous poussez un soupir de soulagement. Une fois à l'intérieur, vous êtes invité à vous rendre dans la grande salle de bal. Tout en suivant les panneaux, vous ne pouvez pas vous empêcher d'admirer les dimensions pharaoniques de l'édifice et le nombre d'agents de sécurité armés. Lorsque vous arrivez enfin, une femme au visage fermé se tient devant la porte et vous demande votre nom. Je m'appelle Alex Winston. Elle jette un coup d'œil sur sa liste avant de murmurer quelque chose au serveur à côté d'elle. Vous arrivez juste à temps pour avoir une place assise avant le dîner. Veuillez suivre Emmanuel jusqu'à votre table. Le serveur vous sourit et ouvre l'une des grandes doubles portes, vous invitant d'un geste à entrer. Vous comprenez immédiatement pourquoi on appelle cette pièce la grande salle de bal. Vous êtes tellement époustouflé que vous avez besoin d'une seconde pour reprendre vos esprits. Sortez un léger tapotement sur le bras sans un mot. Emmanuel vous invite à le suivre. Il vous assoit à une table dans la zone centrale qui offre une vue plus ou moins bonne de la scène. Vous êtes manifestement dans les petits papiers de Bosman en ce moment. Vous vous trouvez à côté de collègues que vous avez croisés 2 ou 3 fois dans les bureaux de Canal 1. L'un d'eux vous informe d'un ton anormalement enthousiaste que c'est une soirée très importante où entreprise, récompense et speech seront les maîtres mots. Au moins la nourriture devrait être bonne. Le dîner se passe merveilleusement bien et avec l'aide d'un vin très probablement fort onéreux, la conversation est presque agréable. En fait, à votre grande surprise, vous êtes lauréat d'un prix pour meilleur nouveau venu dans la famille de Canal 1. Eh bien, c'était plutôt inattendu. À mesure que vous vous approchez de l'estrade, vous reconnaissez le présentateur. Il s'agit du docteur Adrian Atkinson de Dew, le célèbre animateur d'Incisive. Il se confond en remerciements pour Advance, qui a eu la gentillesse de sponsoriser le gala de cette année, puis remercie les premiers ministres, Julia Salisbury et Peter Clement, d'assister à la cérémonie. Alors que vous montez sur scène, vous apercevez la table centrale où sont assis les premiers ministres ainsi que Bosman, Meghan et d'autres personnalités BCBG que vous ne reconnaissez pas. Voilà pourquoi il y a un tel déploiement de sécurité. On vous remet le prix, le docteur Atkinson des Dew vous demande si vous voulez prendre la parole. Vous sentez une montée de stress et balbutiez quelques vagues remerciements pour Advance et Canal 1. Vous faites une plaisanterie remerciant Dave d'avoir fui le pays pour que vous puissiez être nommé à son poste. Non, on va éviter. Alors que vous remerciez Advance, un tonnerre d'applaudissements retentit dans la salle. Peter et Julia se lèvent pour accepter généreusement votre gratitude avant d'expliquer qu'ils ne sont pas les stars de la soirée. Mais merci quand même. Au moment où vous regagnez votre chaise, vous voyez Bosman vous faire un signe de la tête, le visage empourpré, arborant un sourire satisfait. C'était manifestement le bon discours à prononcer. Au moment exact où vous finissez votre dîner, l'une des personnes assises à votre table montre quelque chose du doigt derrière vous. Lorsque vous vous retournez, vous voyez Bosman qui passe en coup de vent, suivi de près par Julia Salisbury et Peter Clement. Vous êtes presque certain qu'il a mis un point d'honneur à vous ignorer. Bizarre. Il semble présenter les premiers ministres à quelques personnes triées sur le volet. Vous préférez être à votre place qu'à la leur. Vous terminez de manger, écoutez les derniers discours, puis rentrez chez vous. L'un dans l'autre, la soirée s'est plutôt bien passée. Vous vous surprenez même à attendre la prochaine avec impatience, à condition que Bosman vous y invite, bien sûr. Bon, rien d'extraordinaire. Jour 296. Ah, un peu d'action. Je vais boire un tout petit peu en attendant que ça charge. Hein. Mais je me demande si les textes et compagnie, là, c'est dépendant de mes choix et de mes résultats pendant les phases d'action. Ça, je ne saurais pas, sauf si je refais des sessions et des sessions. Je vais peut-être éviter hein, de refaire tout depuis le début 2-3 fois d'affilée pour voir un peu les bifurcations. Vague de chaleur. Alors. Hein.
Alex, you will notice that the valves are heating up excessively due to the current heat wave. When they get too hot, the trip switch will blow, as you've seen. Once things have cooled down and the trip switch is back to normal, you can get the power back on. You should keep the fan pointed at the correct valve by aiming it up and down. The middle gauge when you're facing the screen will warn you, so keep an eye on it. Also, maintenance tells me that the fan power switch occasionally turns off for no good reason, so keep an ear open for that too. I'm sure you've already worked all this out, though, Alex. You're a rising star of this network, and we're all very proud of
What,
you.
you got someone to hose down the sun, have you?
Yes, they've just strapped on their wax wings.
Classical illusions are no substitute for air conditioning.
You know, I genuinely thought you'd be in a better mood today. She's not even here.
Yes, but he is. Our gun-toting handler.
Who, Andy?
I don't know what the fuck his name is, do I?
He's here to keep us safe from people like Disrupt.
Might keep us in line. Stupid guns.
Merde. Bien sauté. Merde.
4, 3.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Siege mentality. The World Council today established a military blockade to enforce the unjust and punitive sanctions now entering their 10th
Je vois pas la différence.
In a statement from team headquarters a short time ago, Prime Minister Julia Salisbury issued a commanding response to this unprovoked escalation.
The World Council should make no mistake. This blockade and the illegal sanctions it seeks to enforce are an act of war and will be treated as such. Any incursion, however slight, into our territory will be met with swift and deadly force. You have been warned.
Three's a crowd. It seems the celebrity wedding of the decade might have been a touch busier than expected. In a photo leaked today, it appears the union of football star Johnny Hamsleaves and his bride, Tiffany Lamour, may have had a few uninvited guests. Scores of drunken revelers gatecrashed the star-studded celebrations and seemingly caused something of a stir. The group swarmed the dance floor in what one onlooker called a conga of shame. At least 3 people were taken to hospital with injuries described as bouquet-related. In it to win it. Exciting news from Advance today with the announcement of a new monthly prize draw for all team membership card holders. Every month, lucky winners from across the country will be picked at random to receive what Team HQ are describing as unique prizes worth more than money used to be. Take-up on the scheme has been much higher than expected, and if this lucky winner's delighted face is anything to go by, it looks like pretty soon everyone's going to have one. Hard pill to swallow. Throngs of men take the streets in response to the release of new pharmaceutical responsibility. Remington Smith's revolutionary male contraceptive pill first hit our shelves earlier this month. And as a result, scores of men have been queuing around the block and around the clock ever since. Pharmacies up and down the territory report that they are unable to meet the demand for the wildly popular drug, with some customers camping outside for upwards of 72 hours. Satisfied CEO Sophia Remington says they've scaled up production and will soon have manufactured enough to satisfy even the randiest of consumers. Fungi or fundi? As their supplies dwindle, the scientists of Dante's Taint have had to supplement their food stores with more unconventional cuisine. After funding was pulled due to public outrage, all attempts to rescue the researchers have now been abandoned. But David and Ingrid's joint team are not going down without a fight, and have begun to experiment with the available food sources. Without sufficient time to test the long-term effects of eating the newly discovered flora, the scientists resorted to deciding which to eat based on their favourite colour. FX7B3 has become the staple of their subterranean diet, and reportedly, despite its appetising aroma, tastes like your dad's old feet. Burning down the house? The capital was put on high alert last night after disrupt terrorists set an emblematic fire in the heart of Parliament Park. Violent conflict broke out at the demonstration after a mob of so-called protesters from the radical group launched an unprovoked attack on community cohesion officers in attendance. With the methods of this increasingly violent rabble becoming ever more extreme, many are asking if the military should intervene. Colonel Phineas Mad Badger Portingley Davis of the 1st Mounted Bastards Brigade said his men were, and I quote, oiled up and ready for action. All this, and I'll be talking to some people with fascinating medical conditions, as well as one of the contenders in this year's Feline Football Championship, and her proud owner. That's all up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Très bien. Oui, ah, merde. Non. C'est bon, c'est bon. C'est bon, j'ai raté le bouton, c'est tout. Non, purée.
But first tonight, our team of correspondents has been dispatched to every corner of the country to see how the people of this great nation of ours are coping with this unprecedented hot weather. First, let's go to Megan Wolf in Shining-on-Sea to see what the scientific community has to say. Megan, how's the weather there?
It's absolutely glorious, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. I'm here with Dr. Anna Burns of the University of Princeton. Are you enjoying the weather as much as I am?
Oh, yes, it's wonderful, isn't it? My eyelids are sweating.
And you're part of a team carrying out a study into just what's causing this unbelievable heat, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, we want to be able to reassure the public once and for all that there's absolutely nothing to worry about and that they can enjoy their sunstroke and fossil fuels in peace.
You sound very confident about that.
Oh, very much so. I can say without any hesitation, there's really no cause for any concern here. I've actually left my car running.
So tell us about this experiment.
Well, we take data from weather stations from all over the world, along with atmospheric samples, and we take all that and we feed it into this state-of-the-art computer, and very soon we'll be getting a high-tech readout of the results.
Blimey, that sounds very fancy.
I should just say, none of this would be possible without the generous support of Remington Smith. This is all thanks to their unrivaled investment in our future, and may I just say, complimentary personal anecdote. Oh, here we go. And, as expected, everything is absolutely fucked. Hang on. This can't be right.
Right, but obviously you said a second ago that everything is absolutely fine, so...
Well, actually, under concern level, it just says, why, God, why?
We should be celebrating these wonderful results, I think.
Yeah? We need to evolve gills within 40 years.
You look thirsty.
Here it just says, shit.
Look at you. This is meant to be a celebration. Can't go around looking like that.
Shit.
There you go, much better. Can I just say thank you again to Sophia Remington for providing all of this.
Everyone, we don't have long. Time is running out.
It's running out. Absolutely right. That is all we have time for.
Abandon hope and return to the forest.
Enjoy that. I'd like to thank Dr. Burns for just one opinion on the climate.
The sea will reclaim us all.
There you have it, Jeremy. Proof, if proof be need be, that everything is just fine. I'm Megan Wolfe, here with science. Back to you.
Megan Wolfe there, attempting to do some actual news. Next, heads over to Robin Short, who's in Scritchford with some of the winners of this week's team membership lottery. Robin?
Thanks, Jeremy. I'm here in Scritchford with Gary Failsafe, a janitor at the local school, and Amelia Jackhammer, an aspiring poet. Both of you were drawn at random from those who hold team membership cards to receive this week's amazing prize. How do you feel?
Filled with fervent euphoria.
Yeah, good, yeah.
And all that we had to do was fill in a quick form or two.
Wow, that sounds so convenient. But we're all dying to know, what have you won?
That's right, Robin. I've won dinner with Julia Salisbury at one of the capital's top restaurants.
Ooh, swanky.
And I've been invited to Peter Clement's house to help him dredge the gutter in.
That's absolutely terrific. You must both be over the moon.
I've written a poem about it.
So, can you tell me about the moment when you first heard the news?
Well, I was battling against a particularly difficult floater, probably one of the sixth formers, when the headmaster came and found me.
I was involved in a similarly brutal conflict with a particularly arduous stanza.
So you were both polishing turds?
No, I don't like to polish them. I like to keep them intact for my collection.
Oh. How unexpected.
I don't polish turds. I write poetry.
Potato, potato. So, Gary...
Do you think Peter Clement's going to let me keep the contents of his downpipe?
There's no harm in asking, I suppose.
Would you like to hear one?
No, thank you. Gary, when you signed up for team membership, was it in hopes of winning the lottery, or were there other reasons?
I like a flutter, of course, but no. The boss said I had to sign up to keep coming into school.
Very sensible. It's important to know who we're trusting around our children.
Oh, I have an unpublished book of sonnets about children. Perhaps you'd like to hear one.
No!
Or an anthology of
C'est dur, il
haikus
faut
on the
rester
death of
concentré, hein, c'est...
I'd rather hear about Gary's turd collection.
Really? I thought you might say that.
Oh.
Are you all right?
Yes, it's coming. It's inspiration, and it's delicious.
Right you are.
Today on the show, there's no news. Just a man.
Really lovely texture.
Would you encourage other people to enter for their chance to win?
If it's colour you're looking for, take a gander at old Blue Eyes here.
The national news lost its way when it covered some crap on a tray.
Some of these are quite rare.
Maybe that was unfair.
And that's all we have time for today. Back to you, Jeremy.
Thanks, Robin. What a lucky pair they are. And finally in this segment, it's over to Patrick Bannon, who's gone to the smelliest town in the country to see how the unprecedented weather is affecting the locals. Patrick?
Hello there, Jeremy. Hello, yes. I'm here live in Grizzleford, which has recently voted the smelliest town in the country. And I have to say that, you know, in this heat, the smell really is. I mean, it's something else. Barry Lardons, mate, you've lived here your whole life. How'd you put up with the sting?
Well, we're just all very proud of our achievement, to be honest with you. You can tell that, look at him, proud as punch. Do you know what it's like, son? Being the second smelliest town? No, I don't. Living in the shadow of Arseminster. Those smug fucks. But who's laughing now, eh?
So what happened, mate?
Right, the good people from Willington's Fist came in and saved the day with their factory.
You're talking, of course, about the newly built flour factory.
Yeah, they gave us this big presentation on jobs and growth. But as soon as we heard about the stench, we paid them whatever they wanted to put it here.
Does this stink not affect your life in every way, Barry? I mean, perhaps if you're filling in a tax return or completing the physical act of love.
It's strong at first, but you get used to it after several weeks of your first bout of sickness. The judges were very impressed.
doctor. Oh, what's the sickness?
Oh, that's nothing to worry about. It takes a few minutes before you develop any symptoms. Now, folk are saying something about the production line and how they dump carcasses directly into the waterway, but I think it's probably the fume valves on the high street.
On the high street? Should I see a doctor? What are the symptoms?
Well, the first one is asking stupid questions. Then folk experience a loss of inhibition.
Le pire, c'est que j'arrive pas à suivre ce qu'il raconte. Merde, j'ai raté le jour.
Next recording is a period of randomly bursting into song, followed immediately by delusions of grandeur.
Oh, that's not really a problem. Never sung in my life. Hello, it's sexy Patrick Bannon, and he's wearing sexy shorts now. Oh my God, look at me. I'm like a stallion. I'm gorgeous. Why didn't you tell me? I should take my shirt off. You know what? I'll even let you touch me if you want.
That will be the bout of undeserved self-confidence.
Love the Bannon. Feel the Bannon. Oh, man.
And the ennui. All that's left now are the hallucinations and unconsciousness.
Nana Dottie? Was that you? Why are you made out of elbows? You know I don't eat opinions.
Don't worry, folks. Once he wakes up, he'll be just fine. We'll just find a place to stick him where it won't matter how many times he evacuates his bowels. Right, that's all here from Grizzleford, a town that's really making a stink. I'm Barry Lardons. Back to you, Jeremy.
Right. Thanks, Baron. With a naval blockade being set up around our coastline as we speak, when we come back, I'll be talking to 3 members of the general public who appear to be here purely for medical reasons. Don't go away. Unless, of course, you've got something better to do. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
This next section features a potentially controversial guest, and Barnes may request some censorship if he goes too off-topic. You've done a great job so far keeping everyone happy, so let's keep up the good work.
And I can't do this anymore.
You say this every Friday.
I've done something.
What do you mean? Jeremy?
My mic is still...
Note de segment E. Bah tiens, tu m'étonnes. Je l'ai complètement loupé, mais...
That's what I'm talking about? Cat football? We should be doing an interview with the War Minister, or a report from Grantham Downs. Even the weather would be more fucking relevant than this.
Jeremy, please, just breathe. It's just something light to keep people's minds off things.
Exactly, which is wrong. People's minds should be very much on things. Christ, it's so fucking hot.
Please take your seats as quickly as you can.
I can't do this anymore, Jenny. I've had enough. That's it. This is just...
10 seconds. Get over yourself, Jeremy. Why don't you stop feeling sorry for yourself for 5, 4, 3.
Okay.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News with me, your host, Jeremy Donaldson. Later, we'll be talking to the captain of the Territory's first cat football team, Professor Pumpkin. But first, I'm joined by 3 guests with some balmy bodily behaviours. Joining me is a woman who's been hiccuping for over 9 months. Isn't that right, Miss Piercy?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Tell us, what brought all this on?
Well, it's all a bit of a blur, Jeremy, to be totally frank with you. So I was watching your show and I remember seeing the news about the election, and it hasn't stopped since.
Ouais, elle se force, ça se voit.
Fascinating stuff. Also here is Frankie Steampipe. Perhaps you could explain to us exactly what your physiological foreboil is.
I'm here to say it's high time people like me were respected. We're constantly overlooked in the workplace, we're whispered about on buses, and we're asked politely to leave children's birthday parties. And it's disgusting. I'm sorry, my bowels have comic timing.
And finally, I'm joined by a man who answers every question honestly, even when it isn't aimed at him. How do you cope with that, Mr. Truman?
With a combination of booze, self-hatred, and hardcore pornography.
Is that
Not according to my therapist.
Well, in that case, let's speak to Rose. Tell me, how does the hiccuping impact you?
I get shushed a lot, which is hard. At work, they've asked me to stop answering the phones. It's really affected my confidence.
Well, I find it really fucking irritating.
Do people tend to believe your story?
Fuck no.
Actually, I've been surprised at how much support I've received.
And Frankie, why have you come here today?
Because my wife left me, and I was hoping that the fame would win her back.
We've started a group for people with ailments deemed broadly comical by society. It's called Take Us Seriously.
That's right. And we bloody well mean it.
And who's joined so far?
A bunch of fucking losers.
It's just us so far.
And how much success have you had?
Well, we've seen some real positive changes.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's been a runaway success.
Shit all. Not a single person come to our fun run, and all of our leaflets fell in the canal.
Huh. Well, Miss Piercy, some people are saying your condition was actually caused by the shocking events of that night. What do you think?
Come down, Mr. Donaldson, that's absolute rubbish.
What it'd be like to have a pair of tits.
Could you? I'm sorry, it's very hot. What was I thinking?
That you're a team fuck puppet?
No.
Or a sellout cunt?
Apologies. Just a reminder that he can't help it. And hey, if this isn't live television, then what is it?
Fuckfest of propaganda masquerading as journalism.
Right, Frankie, Rose, tell us, how can the viewers get involved with your cause?
Yes, we're holding a sponsored run in Capital Park next weekend. It's called the No Smiles 13 Miles.
No, it's called the No Laugh Half. What did I say before the show?
That it was the team pulling Jeremy Donaldson's strings.
No, I didn't say...
Oh, well, we may have to end that there, unfortunately. What a harmless bit of fun.
Steady on!
This is exactly what I'm talking about. We demand respect.
Yes, well, later, I'll be talking to Professor Pumpkin, a ginger tabby with a world-class pair of penalty paws. Is that really necessary?
No, it isn't. Let go. Not you.
Unhand him at once.
Enough! That's enough! Enough!
What are you doing?
Try not to piss myself.
Alex,
Don't you dare! Don't you fucking dare cut to the ads before I tell you to. Now, you in the broadcast centre, Bonesman's Little Capers, you listen to me. You cut to the ads before I tell you to, and I will kill every single person.
Ça fait de l'audience, ça, c'est sûr.
I am thinking about what I'm doing. I've been thinking about it for a long time. We all should be. Christ, it's so fucking hot in here. Do you remember when we used to do the real news? Before it was all lottery winners and bloody cat football? We are on the brink of a siege, the likes of which the world hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The enemy is at the gates, and I'm stuck here talking to these three fucking idiots.
I think my hiccups...
Et on continue comme si de rien n'était.
You three, get the fuck out of my studio. Go on, now, go!
Merde.
Before I change my mind. Jenny, lock the doors. Lock the doors.
Yes, Jeremy.
Now. Good. Yes. Now. Good. Right then. You in the broadcast centre.
J'ai peut-être fait une bêtise, ouais.
You listen to me. You pay attention. Now, I'm sure you've already loaded up exactly what you're going to play in the commercial,
Oui.
but today is going to be a little bit different. Look to your right. Yes, really. Look to your right. There is a VHS tape, and I want you to load it into one of the machines. And when I say so, and not before, you play it. You've got about 15 seconds, so I wouldn't waste any time. Now, all cameras.
Alex, I assume you won't be playing that tape. This station does not negotiate with terrorists. I hope I've made myself clear. You seem to know what to do.
Every single thing that comes out of this studio is either one-sided or banal. We're going to show the other side for you.
Comment je fais pour le
So
sectionner?
fucking balance. Like the good old days. Alex, play the fucking tape. Play the fucking tape. I don't want to hurt any of you. If I see anything I don't like, I will not hesitate to start by killing this man.
Oh, Alex, you're going to get me in trouble with that. Let's hope you made the right call.
Bah ouais, mais bon, j'ai pas trop le choix. Ah, plus. Oh, je l'ai bien. J'ai bien réussi celui-là.
elderly are not a burden. The rich were not all crazy, and the team membership card is an ID card, no matter how tempting the prizes are. But who am I to tell you this? A voice from the shadows trying to tell you that everything you know is wrong. Why would you trust a man too scared to show his own face?
Don't switch off.
Ah bah ouais, forcément, c'est le complotiste.
Don't switch off. My name is Alan James, and I think that certain rights are worth fighting for. The right to keep the rewards of our own hard work. The right to be kept alive in our dotage. And the right to question our government without worrying what our children will report to their fellow go-getters. I love this country. It may be what I am, and I'll fight for it. In fact, I'll die for it, if I have to. But I can't do it alone. Disrupt a growing movement.
How long?
But we need your help, your support, please. Look for us, find us, and if you also know in your heart that there is something deeply wrong in this country, join us. Resist.
I don't know.
Disrupt.
This wasn't what I planned. I mean, some of it was. I had speech, look. This was unexpected. This was unexpected.
So what now, Jeremy? So what now, Jeremy?
It was supposed to be your day off. It was supposed to be your day off.
Please, don't do any more stupid things today. Please, don't do any more stupid things today.
How long, Jenny? How long, Jenny?
You're already lying.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Unexpectedly. Joining me
very much
unexpectedly. My last broadcast.
I very much
imagine will be my last broadcast. Jenny works here at the National Nightly News, and is someone I consider. Well, a friend. Well, and next to her is. What's your name?
Andy.
What's your name? Andy's a policeman. Only we don't call him that anymore. He's a community cohesion official.
Officer.
Sorry?
It's community cohesion officer, CCO.
And how's that feel, Andy? Being rebranded?
It's good. it's not about confrontation anymore. You know, the force had its fair share of problems. The team doesn't have as many.
But it still has some.
I couldn't say.
Couldn't or wouldn't?
I don't know what you want me to say.
Christ, you're fucking useless, aren't you? We'll come back to you later. Jenny?
I don't want to be on the news, Jeremy.
That's perfectly understandable. Who'd want to do this? Jenny, why did you join the National Nightly News team?
I always wanted to work in news.
Yes, but why specifically this program? The National Nightly News.
It was the news everyone trusted.
Was?
Is. Do you really want to quibble semantics at gunpoint?
Is there something else you'd rather discuss?
Well, there is a great big Alan James-sized elephant in the room you seem to be ignoring.
What do you mean?
I saw your face when that hood came down. You didn't know, did you?
It's about the message, not the messenger.
Like I said, you didn't know.
No, I didn't know. The people I met were with, he wasn't there.
God,
I didn't know it was Alan James.
I'm sorry, but seriously, Alan fucking James. You're flushing your life down the toilet for... God, I love you, Jeremy, but...
He's a good speaker. He's popular in the country.
That right?
Look, forget Alan James. There is still something deeply wrong. And you know it, Jenny. And you know it, Andy. And you at home, you know it too. Meanwhile, I'm interviewing a guest who stinks of shit. Patrick is paddling about in shit. And Robin is literally interviewing someone who collects the fucking stuff. I mean, it's not sophisticated, but what a metaphor. We are sleepwalking our way into oppression, and the news isn't saying anything. We're not saying anything.
Says who? Alan fucking James.
What are all those scientists working on at Grantham Downs? What are they testing underground at Altergrave? Andy, your turn. Make yourself fucking useful. How many people have you brought in for consultations just because they weren't carrying or didn't have team membership cards?
Oh, well, there's other forms of identification that we will accept.
For how long?
We're just here to help.
Then why do you need these? Not really help when it's offered at gunpoint, is it, Andy? Let me demonstrate it for you. Let me help you. You read these cards with my notes on it, and you'll probably digest a fact. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it, Andy? Knowing a fact?
What? I don't understand.
Do you want my help,
Yes,
Andy?
yes, whatever you say, yes.
Security are here, Jeremy.
Eat it.
What?
Eat the fucking news, Andy, or I'll force it down your fucking throat.
Jeremy, stop.
Go on.
Really?
Eat it. Eat it, you fucking bully.
Jeremy, stop.
They will kill you. Please, don't make me watch that.
Of course. You're right. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. You can put the card down now, Andy. You can go now. You too, Jenny. Fuck off over there. We're nearly done. All cameras on me. This new regime of ours is so seductive. I understand that. But before we all hand off our freedoms, should we ask to whom we're handing them over? Don't you want to know what's being done in your name? How many people were transitioned last month? A record high. Again, if you care. Shouldn't someone ask Advance how they plan to deal with this blockade? How many years or months of supplies we have? Why aren't we asking these questions instead of, whose shit is this? There's a cat backstage dressed as a fucking goalie, for Christ's sake. He's even got the little gloves.
Ah, il le flingue pour remonter.
That's why I arranged for you to see
Non,
that
ça remonte pas.
broadcast in the last break. I didn't know it was going to be him, but I guess that just about sums it up. We are all up Ship Creek with a paddle made of Alan fucking James. Christ, it's all so fucking pointless. I was going to quit tonight. Take a holiday. Try something else. Out of the limelight. Maybe try having a relationship. I hear they're nice. Never tried it.
Bah, je comprends.
I loved the news. And now, well...
Oh God, Jeremy, don't!
I've tried my best to be honest with you, but this just isn't the news anymore. And I'm sorry.
Ads.
I've lost this fight.
Alex, think of the consequences.
I've let you down.
Please, we can't show
All
this.
of
Cut
you.
to the ads.
My name's...
Voilà, on met les pubs. Diffusion terminée. Oh purée. Ok. Séquence E, A+, A+. Oh, très bien ça. Et avec 2 succès. Vous avez reçu votre plein salaire. Fortune actuelle dette atroce. Les parts remontent. Alliance remonte, opposition remonte et on est... Le patron il est content. Bon, on va s'arrêter là alors pour cet épisode et on va continuer dans le suivant. En attendant, eh bien, merci d'avoir regardé, j'espère que ça vous a plu. N'hésitez pas à me dire ce que vous en avez pensé avec les commentaires, les pouces en l'air. Abonnez-vous pour ne pas rater la suite et portez-vous bien. Bien entendu aussi, venez en live si vous voulez voir d'autres contenus. Allez, bye.